Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be doing more of a review style video like we've done with the other market update videos in the past. Now today I want to be talking about a couple stocks that we were trading this week that netted us over 300% return on options trading in a single week. So I want to talk about what companies I made those plays on, what exactly compelled me to make those plays, and what I was watching to really know that these stocks were going to be making a move either back to the upwards direction or downwards. And I want to show you whether these plays have continued opportunity, some continued plays to be made with them, or if they are more of a sell right now in case any of you guys are still holding plays that I've mentioned in the Discord, or if you guys are still holding plays that I've mentioned through the channel, which are where most of these plays have come from. So guys, listen, if you have been following the channel, we were making an extremely crazy profit this week, almost 300% returns, and there has been some great opportunities in the stock market over the last few days. So I want to talk about some of the best plays that we made here, and one of those plays was to do with NIO. Now, if you saw my video, that video was very popular, and what I was telling you guys was that this purple rectangle was going to represent the area where buyers had stepped in previously on the stock, and the reason you can know that is because of the way that these candles leave a large wick while they're coming into this box. And what that means is that the candles push down all the way to this price sometime during this hour, but unfortunately the candles are not able to continue their strength and melt all the way back up or get bought all the way back up before the hour even closes. So guys, it's going to be important to know that we are on an hourly time frame, so every single one of these candles that you see here is going to represent 1 hour of trading. So if in a single hour a stock pushes down $2 to $3 and then gets bought immediately back up to the price of around 40, you know that that's going to be a critical area for buyers to step in and really show us whether the stock has upwards momentum or if we're going to see some more long-term selling. And that's exactly what I told you guys about NIO. And you can see that as soon as we were in the box, the stock was able to rip outwards from this moment, and I netted over 115% return in only 2 to 3 days with this company. So this one was absolutely insane, guys. I bought them at around the $41 mark. You saw me say this in the Discord. I mentioned it multiple times. I told you guys this is a longer term play, and even on my video I explained how I was going to see some resistance around $48, which is where I would consider selling my position. But if the stock had enough momentum, then I would be looking for around this $54 range, which is the highest from here and here as well. So that's where I thought the stock would really pause after some running. I still see them having a great opportunity of continuing to this $54, $55 per share valuation, but right now around this $48 is where I was expecting them to see some resistance. So I'm not surprised that the stock has stalled for the last 2 or 3 days, but since they are still above the 200 EMA, this means that they are still technically in a growing direction, and I recommend a trade to the upside on this stock if you are considering still getting in, or if you haven't gotten in on a play yet, guys. Now, a lot of you guys might look at this and think, damn, I should have got in during $40. I should have got in at $30, $20. Well, the market is giving you guys chances here. You guys have seen $40 price tag around once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times over the last month or two. So guys, there's really no excuse to not have a long position on this company if you are a bull in the long term on this company, and especially if you want to have exposure to one of the biggest plays of this year from the stock market. So that's going to be the NIO play we made, guys. Extremely good profits, and I want to talk about the next play now that we actually made. Alright guys, the second stock we're going to be talking about here is Tattoo Chef. Now this is a company that has recently changed directions on what it was really planning to do with its brand, with its name, and it used to sell products wholesale to names like Target and other retailers that would literally just sell their products but rebranded with their own company name. But now the company has decided to sell their own branded products, their own line of products, and I really think that this was going to propel the company all the way back to at least its IPO price of around $25. So I told you guys that this was a great long-term hold. That was around the $19 mark. I also showed you guys the yearly contracts that I hopped in with this company, and I kind of wanted to show you guys the logic around jumping in on a yearly contract, because if you bought 100 shares of this company, Tattoo Chef, you're looking at around $2,500, which is what it's going to cost you to buy these 100 shares. But if you buy a yearly contract, which does give you the option to buy 100 shares, if your contract comes in the money or more, then you could only spend around 800, which is what I ended up doing. And I was able to buy 2 contracts or even 3 with the same price that I was going to spend on 100 shares. So when you really think of it logically, there's no way that a stock is not going to be at a higher price or higher valuation 1 year down the line. So it's really safe to buy these yearly contracts if you're sure that a company is going to move to the upside very soon, but you don't know exactly that date when. Maybe you're not so good at technical analysis, so you can't identify the exact breakout moment. Well, that's not a big problem when you're trading with a year of time, because the contracts will obviously hold up their premium. So that's the second move that we made here, from $19 all the way to around 25, 28 when they were at the highs here. So hopefully this can continue running. Like I said, I'm holding around 100 shares right now and the long-term yearly contracts. So I will continue holding those till around $35 at least for this company. I think they can continue running up even all the way to 50 in the next few months. So I'm very bullish on this company and I'm going to continue holding for the long term. So now I want to talk about DraftKings here, and the next 2 plays that I show you were shorter term plays, but I really want to show you how great these plays are and why I was watching them, plus what I'm going to be watching in the future, because these stocks still have a lot of opportunity, these next 2 that I'm going to talk about. And the first one here is DraftKings. Now, if you were in the Discord, you saw me mention this stock around $52 when the stock popped up, and that's going to be the advantage of being in the Discord. It's completely free, and I literally tell you live when the plays happen. I tell you get in right now and get out right now, and that way you can know live what's happening. You don't have to wait for me to make this recap video to know whether you sell out or stay in on one of the positions that we talked about in the stock market or that we talked about on the channel this week. So guys, it's always going to be beneficial to check out that Discord if you haven't already, because it's completely free to join and there's daily plays and signals in there. So like I said, I was buying this stock at around $52 and I bought some longer term options, probably a lot more time than I needed, and the stock rocketed all the way up to $55.70. Now in the Discord, I told you guys I was looking for around $55 to $57, and this stock basically rose to around 56 flat. So that was exactly in our target range. I told you guys take profits on the stock if you haven't already, as well as the NEO stock was also looking like a take profit around the same time as DraftKings. So I sent both of those alerts relatively at the same time, and now we're looking at a pullback on DraftKings, and I want to explain why I knew they were pulling back. And that's because on the shorter term time frames, this 50 EMA was not holding up. You can see that a lot of the time these candles look extremely melted towards the bottom, and what that just shows is that in each of these intraday time frames, on the lower time frames, not the 1 hour that we're looking at right now, this stock was showing a lot of weakness. There was moments where they would just rip down in a downwards direction for multiple hours in a row. As you can see here, this is representing 4 candles, which are each 1 hour. This would be 4 hours of just continued selling all the way down to $50. So this stock is showing a lot of people a bleak image of what the future holds. And right now, I would not recommend them as a buy, as I'm waiting for the price to test on the 200 EMA before making another continued run in the upwards direction. So it's going to be very critical to have the 200 EMA open with this play, guys, because it's going to give us an insight into whether the stock wants to continue in an upwards direction, or if this will ultimately be the point where the stock maybe sees some more consolidation and sees some testing of this $50 level, or even the $48.50 that we're seeing below. So that's going to be the prices that I'm watching for this stock to test the 200 EMA at around the $50 range. And if we can test very strongly and see another move to the upside, then I will let you guys know in the Discord. And again, I will be hopping in on another short-term play looking for $55, and then ultimately looking for these all-time highs around 60 to 65. So there's still a lot of promise with this company, DraftKings, and there's still a lot of opportunity to trade this stock. And now the next stock that we're going to be talking about here is going to be Vroom. Now this is a company that recently IPO'd, and I made a video on them talking about how I was very, very bullish on them around the $40 flat range. Now, if you saw that video, you know that it was a great opportunity to jump in. And even though I still recommend you guys to jump in at $43, I think that the play needs to cool down. They've run up extremely strongly from $32 all the way to $43. And even though this is still a great opportunity, like I'm telling you guys, for a longer term play, I think that this stock ultimately needs to cool off, at least in the short run, and show us that it has signs of continued running. Even though the 50 EMA has just broken above the 200, there is still a chance that the stock could take a break for 1 to 2 days before really showing us that upward strength that is reflected through the 50 and 200 EMA. So again, guys, the upward strength is being shown by the fact that the 50 EMA is above the 200 EMA. So what that shows us is the short-term direction taking over the long-term direction and ultimately changing the direction of that 200 EMA line from consistently going downwards to now starting to slope upwards. So that's why that 50 EMA is so important in showing us whether the short-term direction is changing the long-term direction or whether we are simply continuing the pattern that was already established. So that's why I'm really watching a lot of these companies with the 250 EMA, because they're always going to be critical in showing us these directions, and they're going to be very, very helpful. Again, guys, this is not a secret. I don't trade with any magic ball or anything like that. I just try to use these indicators and what I've known in the past with the stock market, what I've learned, what I've trained over the years to try to really identify these patterns and moments. That's what's putting me over the edge. I literally just look at these charts, identify a pattern, guys, and then come in or leave depending on what the charts are telling me. Now, obviously, there are times when I have done research, like with Tattooed Chef and like with this Vroom company, because these are companies that are more volatile, and with an IPO, you need to be 100% sure that what you're investing in is safe for the long run, as IPOs are more meant to help the company that is releasing the IPO than really investors in the long term. So that's why I'm wary of IPOs. I'm very wary of companies like DoorDash or even Airbnb that want to take advantage of the consumer and of the average stock trader and really don't want to help them succeed and grow their investment, and instead just want to grow their money. So when I see a company with a lot of potential like Zoom or Tattooed Chef, it really encourages me to do that research, to go that extra mile with these companies. And that's why I'm so confident that they are going to continue increasing, especially into 2021. I see these as some very strong stocks to continue running back to all-time highs. So as you guys seen, these stocks have had some great upwards momentum. There's still a lot of opportunity to trade these companies, as the 50 EMA has just come above the 200 with this one. Like I said with DraftKings, we're waiting for them to potentially come out of that wedge very strongly and really test on the 200 EMA before showing us ultimately the upwards direction that this stock wants to continue on. So watch for around $50 to be a great price to buy in at if this stock is going to have some upwards momentum into the future. Now, NIO, like I said, guys, I was watching a clear area of buying and selling, and when the stock reached into that area, I was ready to pounce when the stock came above 42.50. Like I said in my video, if you guys watched that video, a lot of people were critical, saying that I should jump in at $40. Well, no, guys, I would not jump in at that price, because obviously I want to make sure the trend is confirmed before I really get in on shares and on stocks and on options, whatever it is. And even though I did get in a little bit before at around $41, it doesn't make sense for people to really just jump in on this trade blindly, especially when you know they just had some new shares added at around $40 flat. And if you've seen other companies in the past, when they add shares, unless your name is Tesla or Apple, you're literally going to be looking at some selling. So I was very surprised to see NIO have this much strength coming from the bottom. But like I said, once I got that confirmation that we were back in an upwards direction, that's when I went all in with the yearly calls. And as you can see, I was very successful, even though I did wait $1 or even $1.50 to ultimately jump into play. So a lot of you guys are very critical of waiting, but waiting could be your best friend if you know how to do it in a smart way. And if you just wait for a price confirmation, you don't have to wait for the stock to come back up to $50 before you can trade them safely again. You literally just have to wait for a confirmation that we might be coming back in an upwards direction, or any signs that might show you recovery. Then that's going to be a great time to jump in when you get your personal confirmation. As you know, mine is looking at these support and resistances, these longer term trends, and really when this price is broken and we see a new high or a new level that is giving us confidence of a future move, then that's when I personally jump in and see that confirmation to go all in. But a lot of you guys have a different strategy, and that is completely fine. Whatever works for you is what works for you. So again, guys, these plays were absolutely bangers. We saw around 300% return this week alone, so I am very happy about that. Very excited for what we got in the future here, guys, and I see a lot of great opportunities coming into 2021. So guys, if you enjoy this video, if you want to stay up to date with what's going on in the channel, check out all our links in the description below. That will be the link for the Discord for free to join for daily plays and signals, TradingView, which is the platform you're seeing right now. If you want to start for absolutely free and help support the channel, definitely check out that link down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for the support lately. We're almost at 1,400 subscribers, so that is absolutely insane. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope all your trades stay in the green.